Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Raja Amar on my channel RU Speaks, and Raja Amar speaks for you all for the sake of the subject of geography, and we are discussing the unit of climate of Pakistan these days. And today, our topic is the effectiveness of rainfall. That all the rainfall systems we discussed in the last lesson. We're going to talk about that. What are the advantages and disadvantages of all those rainfall systems for Pakistan? And we want to see that how effective or how ineffective that rainfall is for Pakistan, whether it is monsoon rainfall, western depressions, convectional currents, relief rainfall, or tropical cyclones. So here is the presentation. So if you see, we are going to start from monsoon rainfall, that how effective or how ineffective monsoon rainfall is for Pakistan. We are going to talk about the positives and negatives of monsoon rainfall. So first of all, talking about the advantages of monsoon rainfall for Pakistan. Monsoon rainfall provides essential water for agriculture, especially the commercial crops of Pakistan, that is rice, sugarcane, or even cotton crop. So as you know that these are kharif crops, they are grown during the summer season and they require a lot of water for the sake of their growth. So if there is sufficient water available through monsoon rainfall, these crops get enough water to grow well and to put in their share in the economy of Pakistan. As you know that if we talk about the cotton or sugarcane crop or even the rice crop, so all these crops, they make a larger part of the exports of Pakistan to put in the rise in the foreign exchange of Pakistan. So if there is enough rainfall through monsoon seasons, these crops get enough water and they grow well and they can put in their contribution towards the economy of Pakistan regarding meeting the local needs of rice, sugarcane, and cotton, and also they may be really very much effective for increasing the exports of Pakistan to earn foreign exchange. Otherwise, Pakistan might be needing the imports of these products like cotton cloth or sugar or rice. So it means that if we are having enough crop over here within Pakistan, we will be not importing those crops, and this would be decreasing the burden on the foreign exchange of Pakistan. Secondly, it recharges the groundwater and the reservoirs. Reservoirs get filled like Karbela and Mangla dams. So these are the examples whenever you put in for your 6-mark question. And groundwater is recharged. I mean the water table rises up, and sufficient water is gained through tube wells for the sake of developing agriculture and the water usage in the households. Next thing, that it supports the hydropower generation, hydroelectric power generation in our dams like Mangla, Tarbela, and other resources generating power for us. So if there is sufficient water is over there in those reservoirs like Mangla and Tarbela, sufficient hydroelectric power can be generated to overcome the power shortages in Pakistan, and sufficient power is supplied to the households and for the sake of the industrial development. Then this promotes the growth and natural vegetation, as this is the monsoon season, and there is the quicker growth of the trees and the plants because of this rainfall. So if it rains good, so it means that the natural vegetation and natural growth improves really a lot, and this might be good one if that is over there on the mountains, so leading to the more natural vegetation growth that can be really beneficial for Pakistan. Now if we talk about the negatives, I mean the disadvantages of the monsoon rainfall for Pakistan, so we can talk about that they cause devastating floods, as we are unable to manage the waters of monsoon really well for the last few decades. We have not constructed big dams to store that excessive water from the monsoon rainfall. What happens that whenever it rains a bit heavy, the plain areas of Pakistan, they get flooded. For example, 2010 floods, they were really very much devastating at that time. So in the mountainous regions, there are the landslidings and there are the road blockages, and they may be really very much dangerous, very especially in the month of July and August. So damage to crops due to excessive rainfall. At times it rainfalls so heavily that it destroys the crops, very especially like cotton crop, which is really very much sensitive to rainfall. So this rainfall is not really very much good one if it rains really very heavily in those areas where cotton crop is there. Sugarcane crop is quite stronger and it does not get damaged very easily, but rice crop and cotton crop, they may get affected because of the heavy monsoon rainfall. So this is the negative one. And last one, disruption of transportation and infrastructure. I mean, if we talk about the urban areas, in urban areas, because of the heavy rainfall, there can be the disruption in the transportation. There can be the damages of certain roads, and you can say the urban flooding or flash flooding. Because of all these, there can be the damage of the transportation and infrastructure, and at times there can be certain property damage might lead to the life loss in certain areas of Pakistan as well. So these are the positives and the negatives of the monsoon rainfall in Pakistan. So moving on to the next one, that is the Western depressions, the rainfall which occurs in the Western Pakistan primarily, and it is during the winter season. So positives, I mean the advantages of the Western depression is that vital for Rabi crops like wheat and barley. As you know that in Pakistan the winter mostly goes dry, and if there is a bit of rainfall through Western depressions, Rabi crop, the most important food crop of Pakistan, that is the wheat, to meet the food requirements of the huge population of Pakistan. So wheat and barley can be really good ones if there is sufficient rainfall through Western depressions during the winter season. So that in that sense we can say that Western depressions are really very effective for those areas where the lands are barani lands and they are dependent on rainfall. In that sense, the Western depressions are a blessing. So brings winter rain to northern and western Pakistan, which go dry most part of the year. Helps maintain soil moisture during dry winter. As you know that as I said that the winter in Pakistan mostly goes really very dry, and if there is some rainfall over there in that area, it is really very much important to keep the soil moisture intact, so that in the coming season when we are to grow the kharif crop in the months of April, there should be sufficient moisture available in the soil to ease up the seed germination. Then the negatives, the disadvantages of Western depression: sudden hailstorms can damage crops. Yes, that is the one negative impact of the Western depressions. Snowfall can block roads in the hilly areas, very especially like Parachanar region and the Waziristan Hills, Safed Ko region. Excuse me. Because of the snowfall, those areas may get affected badly, and people might be facing a lot of trouble in their commute and movement, and transportation may get halt. Flood risk in poorly drained valleys, what we call the flash flooding. So Western depressions may bring flash flooding over there in the valleys of Balochistan and the Hindu Kush range, like Chitral and Swat regions, and in the surrounding areas of Peshawar Valley as well. So these, in any ways, these rainfall through Western depressions are really very good one, as the winters gets too dry. So Western depressions are a blessing for Western Pakistan. And the hormones, the salty lakes in the Balochistan region, they get filled up, and the nomads, they get sufficient water, and they may be able to get grass over there for the cattle as well, or animals as well, the goat and sheep. So next one, the convectional currents, their advantages and disadvantages: brings short, intense rain shower in summers, early summers, mostly in the month of May. As I was explaining you people yesterday, that in Islamabad there was a strong hailstorm few days back. That was because of the convectional currents. As in this region, Potwar Plateau is the major region which gets rainfall through convectional currents, and at times it rains so heavily with the thunderstorm and hailstorm that it is not really very effective or destroys. But if we talk about the positives, they bring short intense rain showers in summers, helps cool down the extreme hot areas as it starts really very hot over here in this particular month of May and June. So for this region, convectional currents are a blessing that they lower the temperature of this area, making the pleasant climatic or weather conditions over here. Provides moisture in areas where low rainfall otherwise. So in Potwar region, as you know that Potwar region is a rain-fed area. So these convectional currents, they are really very helpful in keeping the soil moisture intact in this area, so that the people can be able to grow the rabi crop with the proper moisture in the soil. Negatives often leads to localized flash flooding. Yes, at times Rawalpindi, Islamabad, Nala Lake gets flooded, and certain properties gets damaged. And in some areas of some mountainous region, if it rains really heavily over there, the flash flooding is one factor over there that is negative. Not reliable for large scale agriculture, as you know that it rains really heavily, and hailstorm and strong winds blow. So it means that we cannot rely much for large scale agriculture because of the convectional currents. As I told you that this is only having the smaller impact on the rain-fed Barani lands where small-scale subsistence farming is carried out. So it means that not really very much reliable for large-scale farming. So high humidity may increase health issues like heat stroke. As you know that after this rainfall, there is the high humidity rate, and suffocation prevails in those areas, very especially in the Potwar Plateau and the surrounding areas, some parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So the chances of heat stroke and other health issues like diarrhea and you can say the shortage of water, dehydration may come into play. So that can be having the negative impact of this rainfall. So relief rainfall, the fourth one, the advantages and disadvantages. As we discussed that relief rainfall is mostly in the mountainous regions, and in those areas the it rains heavily all the year through, supports forests and vegetation growth in hilly regions, very especially the Murray Hills. Whatever the greenery we see observe over there in those areas, that is because of the relief rainfall as it rains quite frequently over there because of this rainfall system, and we see the natural growth quite well over there on the mountains of Murray Hills. So provides water sources for streams and rivers. And if we talk about the Piedmont plains of the Potwar region, as River Swa and River Korang, they flow out of those mountains of Murray Hills, bringing some water downstream, and Rawal Dam gets filled up. And in this way, in the same way, if we talk about the Hazara Hills, Abbottabad Mansehra region, and Haripur region, the Piedmont plains of that area, like having the Khanpur Dam over there on River Haro, that gets filled and provides sufficient water for the households through pipelines. So that is really very effective in those areas as well. Useful for terrace farming and tourism. As you know, whenever there is the relief rainfall, the weather gets pleasant and people start moving towards Murray Hills for the sake of enjoying the pleasant weather over there. And terrace farming in the northern areas or in the mountainous regions, when people cut down the hillside like this and they grow certain crops over there on those terraces like this. So those crops, they are irrigated through the relief rainfall and provide better growth and good yield to the farmers over there, those who are depending purely on this agriculture, small scale subsistence farming. Negatives: uneven distribution of relief rainfall, limited to windward slopes only. As we were discussing that if this is the mountain, if the winds are coming from the windward side, it rains only on the windward side, and the leeward side or the other side of the mountain remains dry. So it means that its effectiveness decreases as it rains only on the smaller region, uneven distribution of the rainfall is there, which is not really very much helpful for the people in those on those mountain slopes. So it means that on one side of the mountain they might be having the terrace farming, but on the other side the people might be just wishing for that water, which is not available for them over there to make their crops irrigated over there. So can trigger landslides in steep terrain. I mean, because of the relief rainfall, there is landslide. There is the factor of landsliding over there in those areas. So it means that the roads they may get blocked, and the people might be facing trouble in their commute and movement. Difficulties in transport and communication. So related to that, people might be staying in related to the landslide as well, and at times whenever during winters the same relief rainfall may fall in the form of snowfall, and might be creating trouble in the transportation and communication systems of that region. So this is how the negatives of the relief rainfall. And the last rainfall system, that is the tropical cyclones on the coastal areas of Pakistan. Their positives and negatives are being explained over here. They are really very rare. They bring rain to arid areas like Sindh. I mean, if we talk about the Badin and Thatta districts, including the you can say the area surrounding the coastal areas of Pakistan. The Thar Desert might be getting some sort of rainfall through the tropical cyclones if they occur in that area, but they are really very rare. Temporarily boost water availability in those areas, as we see that Thar region is really very dry and it rains very rarely over there. After 7 to 8 years, this area experiences the rainfall. So if there is some sort of rainfall because of the tropical cyclones, that is the blessing for that area. Major the negatives, that high winds and storms, they surges damage coastal areas of Pakistan, and the fishing industry may get destroyed. And if there is some sort of crops in the Badin and Thatta districts like cotton and sugarcane are grown over there, if it comes really very strongly, so in those areas, Badin and Thatta districts, they might be facing the damage of the crops like cotton and sugarcane. So property loss in the urban areas like Karachi, as there is the stronger infrastructure over there, but if it comes really very strongly, it may get a greater damage over there. And roads and communication systems and electricity and telecommunication system may get damaged because of the strong winds and the tropical cyclones might be hitting in that area. But again, it is really very rare, and it does not frequently come in that area. This may cause a loss of life and displacement. People might be shifting to other areas just to get rid of those tropical cyclones, or to save themselves or to protect themselves from those tropical cyclones. And in that case, there might be some losses because of the tropical cyclones in that region. So this is what we have discussed, the uh, positives and negatives of all the rainfall systems in Pakistan. We talked about the tropical cyclones, we discussed relief rainfall, we discussed the convectional currents, we discussed the western depressions, and we talked about the monsoon rainfall here in Pakistan. So this was our today's topic, that the effectiveness of rainfall, or you may say that the positives and negatives of rainfall systems in Pakistan. So up till now, it's all over. Thank you so much for being with me, and do not forget to subscribe, like, watch, share, and comment on my video. And thank you so much.